Okay, but today I'm calling this How to Kickstart Your Marketing and Bring in a Steady Flow of Clients. Now, here's the caveat. It's for anybody who has no idea where to start, have literally tried everything, or you don't have a lot of time, or you feel like you don't have a lot of time to market yourself. That's kind of what my specialty is in helping people. So, it helps if I click. So what I want to do, some of you are hopping on here or watching this replay, know me already. I promise I'll introduce myself, but I just want to kind of set the tone and kind of paint a picture of why it's important, why I want to do this masterclass, why you probably showed up, and then where I'm kind of taking you on this so you know where we're going. Also, it's a masterclass, so it's going to be about 30 to 45-ish minutes. I promise if you take notes. I'm also going to send you a free lesson straight out of my academy, and I'll let you pick which one's most useful to you as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll put up on the screen some of the options for the different lessons, and you can pick one on social media, content marketing, and that kind of thing. So yay, here we go. Okay, so marketing, this is one of those topics, and just bear with me, I promise it's true, that once you get it, you're going to see results really fast. Marketing feels really overwhelming because there's like 1,025,000 things you could do, right? And so we're trying to figure out how in the world do we make it work for our business and not be working ourselves like crazy. Okay, so everybody probably wants emails to show up like this in your inbox. And just a side note, if you don't already screenshot amazing messages or comments or things that happen to you and put them in a folder on your phone, please start doing that today. If you take nothing else away from that, your business is going to love you if you collect testimonials as you go. Let me just tell you, it's really way easier when you have them on your phone. But we want stuff. We want people to love us, and we want people to know about us, and we want those really, really dreamy clients, right? Okay, so most of the work I've done up recently in my whole career in marketing has been pretty much one-on-one and custom, which means real expensive, really high-level stuff. You need to be like corporate, which is not super fun or easy to translate. So what I've done over the past year and a half is break it down into systems that I can teach people how to do themselves, right? Like take my marketing brain, put it into your brain so you know how to run your business, because you're not taught this, right? You started this business because you really, really love what you do. And that just unfortunately happens to take up 10% of your time as a business owner. And the rest of the time, we actually have to run a business. So I'm going to teach you how to use my system for 10 minutes a day, the most important marketing task to focus on that's going to shift how you think about marketing your business so it doesn't become like this really overwhelming thing that's going to cost a lot of money for you to do. In fact, all of this stuff doesn't cost anything for you to do. Okay, so the first thing, I get excited. The first thing I want you to know is that if you have not had success or as much success as you want in your business, it's probably not your fault. We totally beat ourselves up all the time that, oh my gosh, I'm just not smart enough and I can't figure this out. I promise you, you're smart. You can figure this out. You probably just did not have the right person explaining it to you. There's a reason why there's a million and trillion people who do the same stuff we do it, right? We don't all resonate with the same people. The way I talk about marketing is not the way that Gary Vee talks about marketing, or Marie Forleo talks about marketing, or Amy Porterfield talks about marketing. But we're all talking about marketing, right? We're just using different language. So my guess is, for a lot of people who are new, starting out, pivoting, kind of in that growth stage still where you're trying to get to a sustainable level of income, you probably tried a lot of things for marketing. I'm doing air quotes if you could see my face. But like you tried probably 5-day challenges. You might have tried boosting your posts. You might have tried joining all the Facebook groups in your community or in your space or in your industry that could work for you, or tweaking your website because it's just not converting. Those are all common things that we often try. Perhaps, like me, you like to create social post calendars and just make sure you're constantly showing up in front of people, because if they just see you more, then they're probably going to buy from you more. But that's not the case usually, right? Okay, it's not you. It's not your offer. It's just that you didn't know what to do right and what to do next and what that plan was, because there's so many options coming at you. Ask me how I know. Because when I started on the online space, so I started in the online space in 2015, I wanted to be my own boss. I've been doing marketing since I graduated from college, and I wanted to come onto the space and like make a difference, right? Like save the world. That was kind of my vision of what I was going to do with my business. I have 4 small kids. If you have not seen them before or me, with them. I put my husband through PT school, but I wanted to do more. I didn't want to be in this tech industry I was in forever. I wanted to make an impact doing what I love doing. And most people that I end up working with or speaking with or meeting, even in my community online, my community and locally, that's what we want to do, right? We don't just start a business necessarily to make money, although, hello, perk. That's what we all want. So what did I do? When I started out, I hired a business coach, a ridiculously expensive business coach, but she sold me. She had such good things to say. Basically, everything I wanted, she told me she would know how to get it and we would do it. So like a dummy, I put $1,000 a month on my credit card to work with her, except we ended up talking a lot about feelings. And if you've never met me in person, I am very bubbly and high energy, but I am not a feely person. And I don't want to talk about my feelings or emotions. So it was just a whole lot of mumbo jumbo stuff, which maybe you run into as well. There was no support. There's no action steps. There was no clear path for me to follow. It was all mindset, which mindset is important. I'll get to that in a second. $5,000 later, I wasn't any further along. So who do you listen to? If like me, I was terrified to work with anybody ever again because I wasted so much money and got nothing out of it. And there's lots of conflicting advice, which usually causes us as women to get what I call analysis paralysis. There's so many options, so we just literally freeze and don't do a single thing because we don't know what to do. So another thing I've seen with myself and with clients coming in is that we are getting some things that are bad advice. Not everything on Facebook, shocker, is actually a good idea. And not everything on Facebook is a legit business thing you should try with your specific business. So if this is like you probably already have clients you love. You know kind of who your dreamy people are. You know who you want to work with, who you want to serve. You've got a taste of it. You might even be getting pretty good word of mouth and referrals, but you need more. You need it consistently, right? If we're growing, we want it to come in every single month and know how much money is going to be in our bank account. And we need a plan for how to do that. So if you've ever thought, if only I could just figure out how to get people to start coming to me with money, then I'd be okay. I totally get it. That's where I was when I started out too. So I'm going to put those fears to rest because when I talk about these 3 secrets, I'm going to break down the systems and strategies I'm using that are going to simplify how you do the marketing so you don't have to have these worries anymore. Okay, I'm going to make up one promise and I'm going to ask you about it 2 times on this. Promise is to take action on whatever you hear. Even if it's the crazy little testimonial tip that I said, make sure you're screenshotting your testimonials if you see that somebody posts about you or gives you a referral online or an email or anything, even if it's just that thing, that's still going to put you further ahead than when you joined this morning a few minutes ago, right? So promise me you're going to take action. I am a huge believer in action, taking action, and not just learning and consuming and putting it into our brain and thinking, that's so nice. I maybe might want to start that in December. No. We want to make your business grow. So figure out, what's resonating with you today, what steps you can change, what can you tweak, and promise you're going to at least try it out. Okay, here is the truth, which I experienced, and perhaps you might feel yourself, that the big gurus, the big names out there, I've mentioned some of the big gurus happen to be in this online marketing space and online space right now. They want you to believe you need to be all the places, all the time, showing up with amazing content and videos and going live and having a beautiful website and growing your email list and starting a course. And did anybody else just get really tired and or bored when I made that really long list? Before you can even attract clients. I'm here to call BS on that. You absolutely do not need to have all those things. And that's probably way out of order for you to even start getting clients coming to you that are going to pay you money. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to teach you my 10-minute system because I want you to learn how to market anything, not just where to be and what to do. You need to learn the how of how to do it and how to break it down for your business so that it actually makes sense and you can do it over and over again. So my goal is to kind of shave off all these years, all this wasted money. I did a podcast episode when I first started about all the money I wasted. You can go back and listen to it if you want to hear how to look for somebody, when to invest in something, and what, honestly, all the things I've tried that did not work. It might help you as well if you're like, should I do this thing or should I not? So what these secrets are designed for and the system it's designed for. Here's who it works best for. Women who want to grow their businesses to full-time income, not time, full-time income on a schedule that they want. If you want the 9 to 5, then we will totally get the 9 to 5 for you if that's what your schedule wants to be. But the whole goal is you started a business probably for time freedom and for money freedom and for enjoyment in life and what everything else you do. And if you're not getting those things, then that's what we want to focus on. Okay, here's all the people who have worked on these 3 systems that I'm going to teach you and how it's worked for them. It's a whole mishmash of people, right? It's everybody from authors to coaches to strategists. We got small business owners. I got tech companies. It works for everybody, basically, is what I wanted you to see. If you're like, I don't know if what she's going to teach me, if it's good, I promise you it's going to work for you. It's that simple. So here is a real life example of how we're putting this into practice. So there is a client of mine, a good friend. She's a dance studio owner. She's been a dancer all her life. She makes me feel like, oh my gosh, Mom, why didn't you put me into ballet? She's just so graceful. Like if you've ever done dancing, you know, they're amazing. And she's amazing. And she wanted to create something different in the community where it wasn't this like high competitive place where, you know, the 5-year-olds look like 25-year-olds and there's a lot of skin showing. For her, it was about modesty and letting everybody and everybody dance and learn how to dance and feel really confident in their skills, which is a big thing to do in a community when dancing is all the rage, right? There's all kinds of dance studios she has locally. Business was pretty good, actually. She had people coming in. People liked what she was doing. It's different. But when you're a brick and mortar business and it's seasonal, some of you may experience this in your own business, whether you're online or you have an actual physical building. Seasons in your business can leave you reeling to not know when's money coming in and where's it going. And like so many people are like, oh, I forgot to put the check in the mail. I promise it's on its way. We all know what that actually means, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm going to pay you when I feel like paying you. This is what happened when I met her. This is where she was. And when I took her through these systems and we broke it down, what I'm going to show you is that now she's fully booked, like fully booked the whole year. She's not even a year-long business, right? And she has people coming to her now who want to collaborate. This is what you want to get to in your business, right? You want to get out of the hustle and the fear and the worrying where money's going to come from. You want people to come and collaborate with you and help you expand your brand because they see you as the expert in whatever space and arena that you're in as well. So I am Mallory. If you have not met me, some of you are actually students of mine. I can see a little bit of who's on here. Some of you are students of mine. You've worked with me before. Some of you are brand new to me. Some of you are in my group. My name is Mallory Slayball. The CHs are silent. It throws every single person off. It's totally cool. I've been an entrepreneur since 2015, but I spent more than a decade running the marketing for a 7-figure company, and I still do that. I call it my day job. I still do that as one of my jobs. I'm also a certified IPEC life and business coach. I work with hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'm a podcast host. I want you to know all these things so you feel like I'm legit, right? I promise you that what I'm going to show you actually does work. So these are my crazy kids. This is why I do what I do. This is why I stayed up till 1 o'clock putting these slides together and making sure that they're great for you guys and that I have meat stuff for you to kind of dig into, because after this afternoon, we're going to go school shopping. We're going to get haircuts. We're having a popsicle party. It's going to be awesome. But I can't do that if I don't show up for my business and I don't do the things that I'm teaching you as well. So the next 30 minutes, these are the 3 secrets I'm going to break down, and they're the systems and frameworks that you can repeat over and over and over again in your business. But again, remember that promise I asked you to make about 5-10 minutes ago? Just promise me you'll take action on even just one single thing you hear or learn on here today. Because once you learn how to market your business, again, I'm doing air quotes here because I'm not sure if the video is showing up for you, but once you learn how to market and grow your business, it goes hand in hand with sales, right? You market your business, you make sales, and you can keep growing, and then you have control over both the time happening in your business, what you're investing in, who you can hire, what you want to do, and how much money you're making, which is probably why we all started our business in the first place. Okay, I have yet to meet women who want to spend all of their days and all of their hours on social media or trolling network places or, cold calling. Nobody wants to do that, right? We just want to make an impact and a difference. And that's like you as well. So here's the 3 secrets that we're going to go over. First, how to stop chasing shiny objects on Facebook or Instagram or any platform that you're on and you love right now, but you feel chained to, and grow your business quickly. This is for anybody. If you're new, you have nowhere to start, you've tried everything, you're pivoting, you're launching, it doesn't matter. We're going to break it down. What's the system you need to use to stop chasing those things? Secret number 2 What is the number one problem with getting visible online and why nobody's probably buying from you? It's not even probably what you're thinking. And the third one is why all of your social media posts, your expensive websites, networking circuits you're running around, why all those things that we've been told to do are possibly hurting your business and what you're missing that's probably costing you the clients and money you're actually looking for. Okay. If you have considered, are considering, or even are having somebody, you hire out your social media, but you're not getting consistent paying clients coming into your business, much less even like potential leads coming into your business, you've been told the wrong thing to do. It's totally fine. That's something that you were billed. That's not actually a great thing for you to do. Even when I launched into the online space, I believed that if I just blasted the world with what I could do, because it was enough. I had belief in myself. I knew I could do it. If I just like said it a million different ways online, then, and I had like a link to a scheduler, like just click a link with me in 15 minutes and we'll like save your life, that it would work. But it doesn't. It totally does not work that way. And so what I walked through now is this 10-minute system. It's called a 10-minute a day template. It's got a daily action list. And I took a screenshot here of the part of the screen thing for this is the system where if I am going to work with somebody and I tell you, they're like, what do I even focus on? I could do 90 things and I probably feel like I'm wasting my time. These are the only things that you would need to do to actually grow your business. And none of them cost money. They're all easy to do within 10 minutes a day. So basically I break it down into, we're going to set goals. We're going to do something daily. And there's some weekly tasks that need to happen. You'll see over here on the right-hand side that need to happen every single week. So let's walk through how you do it. So first things first, when you see the weekend section at the top on that screenshot, it takes shifting how you look at your business and how you think about your marketing to help you get started in this new system. I wanted to reframe how you focus on marketing because marketing doesn't guide your business, contrary to belief. A lot of times we're like, put everything out there and then we're like, okay, well now what am I going to do? What am I going to sell? Because like who's biting and what's happening? That's really the opposite of how marketing truly works and why it's not working as well for you as it might. Your goals have to actually guide your marketing. So we set income and we set impact goals, and that's a huge first step. Majority, so do not feel bad, the majority of people that I have walked through this system with, they're either not doing these types of goals or they're just doing them wrong. And that's totally fine. You're not taught how to do this stuff. Nobody teaches you when you're a business owner, right? You just hang out your shingle and run balls to the walls and hope that something works. So we start by taking those goals that are going to dictate your actions. So you're no longer just like spraying stuff all over social media and your email list and everything, hoping somebody's going to click or comment, or that you just crafted the perfectly worded post and that's going to be the thing that makes the difference. The secret recipe are these daily and weekly tasks. So again, there's basically 7 things. That's it. If you do nothing else for your business and focus on these things, they're going to make the difference. So we talked about the weekend thing, right? Like for me, typically I do it on a Saturday or Sunday to frame myself for the rest of the week. When I think about my marketing actions, of course, I'm a goal freak, right? I set goals for the month and the quarter and the year and all those things. But as far as task-wise and actually biting off what I'm chewing, I'm really just looking at a week at a time. I'm looking at between Sunday to Saturday, what are the things that I need to focus on and how do I push all of my marketing to help me hit those actual goals? So the things that we focus on then daily, which take 10 minutes, is make sure you're showing up somewhere, figure out where you're going to be showing up. How are you building community? And this can literally be a community. You could have a group, you could have a meetup place, you could have a membership. What it could be any type of community. Basically is how are you relating to people and fostering those relationships that are actually going to build and grow your businesses. I think a lot of the problem with marketing today is that so many of us, and we experience this and feel this, which makes us shy away from doing it, is that we see people like slide into your DM box on Instagram, LinkedIn. They're like, oh, I saw you checked out my profile. Here is a 9,000 word document with all of my links on why you should sign up for my $1 million program. And that just feels really icky, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, exactly. It feels horrible. And we don't want to do that. And so we go the extreme opposite, most of us, and we don't do anything. We don't talk about ourselves in any way. And we don't just show up and be a real person. One phrase I like to use all over this place is that you're just a human talking to a human, right? Like we can just put aside our businesses and our goals and what we need to actually happen. And that like fear of like, oh my gosh, if I don't say this right, I'm not going to make money. and just be like, hey, this is a person who could probably use what I do. So how would I just relate to them if I met them on the street? Or if I'm actually talking to them on the street, how do I just be normal, right? So however that is, how do you build community? Whether that's, how are you engaging with people? How are you talking with people? Who are you networking with? The third one, the reason it's different from build community is because you actually need to talk to people in order to sell and to market to them and to find out what's working and what's not. So every day, make sure you're talking to somebody, whether that's in chat or on the phone or in person. Again, these are all things that are going to move the needle forward in your business. If you do nothing else, you can make sure you're hitting all of these things all the time. And then the last one, the daily, is promote your content, right? We've all heard about like starting a blog or a podcast or a show or doing a Facebook Live thing, but we do it and we put it out there and then like 6 people see it because Facebook never shows it to anybody you want them to. And then that's it. That's done. That was great. That was a lot of work. And then nobody ever sees it again. So I want you to flip the script on that. And instead, we're creating content you see once a week over in my weekly section, but you're promoting it every single day on a new place, in a new way, because you want eyes to see things you've already created. It creates less work for you. Okay, and then we want to strategically be visible. I kind of walked you through some of the pieces granularly, but we want to focus on fewer people, right? If I'm looking at a week at a time instead of like, how do I make $1 million in 2020? It's a lot easier for me to hit my goals and allow me to not get like freaked out because I now have tunnel vision of where am I going to show up? Who am I talking to? Who am I going to try to get on the phone or connect with or see like what's resonating with them? What can I offer them? It makes my life a lot easier, and I bet it would make your life a lot easier too, because then you can be like, yay, I can do this. This should feel a lot simpler for you. It can be real easy. So again, here's the snippets of what it looks like and how to break it down. And I think I have another shot. I'll look for it. It's somewhere in here of the weekly action goals that we set as well. So you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so the second piece that's kind of part of this system is, creating that ladder of offers so that you're taking your people on a journey throughout your week, throughout your month, throughout your quarter, so that what you're offering actually makes sense, like literally makes sense to you and to them, and like it's a no-brainer, and you're actually getting money for it as well, right? So figuring out what is my sweet spot. Why are people coming into me? What's the next thing I need to offer to them? If they're not quite ready to work with me yet, what would be the thing below, right? It's a way to look at how you offer things without creating something custom all the time or trying to fit people into, well, I just sell this thing and this is what I offer and you either take it or leave it. That could be a good idea, but it's helpful for you and your brain to not freak out about how do I make sales if you know exactly what you could offer people at any point in your journey with them, what the price point is, how you're going to talk about it, right? So that's a piece of it, is figuring out how to make it a lot easier to talk about what you do so you can then sell it as well. Okay, so that brings us into the second secret, which was talking about what's the number one problem with getting visible online and why no one's actually buying from you. The thing is, if you've been online for a hot minute, you've probably been told to be everywhere and you need to get more eyes on your business and you need to be louder and you need to be really funny and you just need to post a lot. So like up it to like 12 times per day on your Facebook. That will change the algorithm. Go live, do videos, put some stunts in there. That's what we've been sold, but that's not actually what's the problem. Because the problem with people have with visibility is you're trying to be everywhere and try to see results just from being everywhere. And how do you track that? And how do you measure that? And how do you do all the things without feeling like you're burned out? Because you could literally do that list that I just gave you every single day for the rest of your life, and it has no correlation or effect if somebody's going to buy from you. Which, again, I'm not a salesperson, but if I am marketing something, I need to have sales or I suck at my job, right? So it's figuring out that really delicate balance of how do I talk about the thing so people will buy the thing? How do I talk about the thing so people will buy the thing? So I want to break it down into a couple of simple steps for you. Here are the 5 things that you can focus on instead when you think about your visibility. That's going to change everything. So first, pick one small niche. I'm going to give you a real life example of how I did this for someone last week. Pick one small niche to focus on. So narrow down your focus on, instead of helping the entire world, what could you really focus on and get really laser? There's a theme to this, I can tell, right? Getting really laser focused, creating less work for you to do actually gets you bigger results. It sounds so counterintuitive, but I promise you 100,000% it's true. So we're picking one small niche to focus on. We're going to promote ourselves on one platform. So I'm talking social media here. So instead of being on all the places or even cross promoting all the places, figure out what is your favorite place and or where are your people showing up, and commit to just one single thing. I want you to blow it out of the water on one single platform before you worry about moving to other places. You are not going to miss out on the market. You're not going to lose sales if if you're not everywhere, I promise. The third one is just sell one main offer. Have one main thing you talk about, because you could definitely cause whiplash for anybody following you if you're like, well, I do this and I do this and I do that and blah, 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 and suddenly they're so confused. They have no idea why or when they would hire you or need you or refer to you, because there's so many options and the brain is just like, blah, I just totally checked out. I just totally checked out when the person's talking. So how can we gonna get you down to one main sweet spot offer that you're really good at, that you primarily sell anyways, that is really your sweet spot, you love doing it, and it gets big results?
Yeah.
We're getting even more narrow here. The fourth thing is, how are you creating content on just one single channel? What are we focusing on? Where are we going to be driving stuff to? For me, mine is a podcast. I love the podcast. This is where I focus all my content for the most part on. I don't write the blogs. I don't create videos. I don't have a YouTube channel and that kind of stuff. For me, I'm creating content on one single platform because one, it simplifies my brain and I can track it a whole lot easier. The fifth thing, I don't know what number I was telling you. The fifth thing is then you're going to drive traffic from one source. Now, it's listed number 5. You notice I've not mentioned ads or advertising or paid anything yet, because I don't believe you're ready for that until you have this foundation set up. If you don't have 1 through 4 nailed and people coming into you consistently, you don't need traffic, certainly not paid traffic. It would basically be like taking all of your money and then flushing it down the toilet and being like, that was a good day today. I think that worked really, really well. We don't want to turn on the fire hose if you don't have a way to capture it and turn it into revenue and clients for yourself. Okay, so if we were to break this down, what would change about your business if you could get this laser focused? Well, one, it would cut out a lot of stuff you're probably already working on and focusing on that's probably not getting you results yet. And it simplifies your brain and how you talk about stuff. So let me give you an example of someone I did this framework with just last week. She's an interior designer. She's in the Midwest states somewhere. I can't remember which state she's actually in. But we were talking through, her whole thing was, I just feel like I'm all over the place and I don't even know where to go or what to do. So if you imagine if you're an interior designer, think about all the possible things you could possibly sell or offer or talk about or post pictures of. Like, this is an excellent example, because when we were even chatting, I was overwhelmed with all the potential that she could be doing. It was like, I could think of like 10, looking around my room, 10 rooms in your house that you could focus on. And then there's like things like doorknobs and windows and paint swatches and how you feel and like feng shui and like your Marie Kondo stuff. And then all of a sudden, like the topics just keep piling up about what you could do, until you can probably see why she's got paralysis analysis of what do I even start with? Where do I even go? So for us, this is how we broke it down. So these are like the 5, this is how I took her thing and we broke it down. So when I asked her some of the questions, it was like, well, what are you selling the most of right now? She primarily had been doing like in-house consulting, what you would think of a traditional interior designer. And she really wants to focus on the broader stuff and like take it online where she can do consultations and she can help you pick your stuff. And she has this killer resource guide where like you come in, you show her your room and what you want to do. And she'll go and source like all the possible things you could put in your room, like to buy, which would be like my problem, right? I have no idea where to buy cute stuff. It's like IKEA, Target, and my house looks like everybody else's house in America. But she is like cool things like this that she does for her clients that would make it really, really easy for her to do it anywhere in the world in the US. So she was like, well, everybody that seems to do this main package I have, they always start with their master bedrooms, which I thought was crazy at first. I was like, really? But then I'm like, oh, I can hear why. Because think about it, guys. Think about your own house. Do you probably make all the beautiful areas that are common spaces that people actually walk into beautiful before you even think about your master bedroom? That's ours. Even though people walk through our bedroom sometimes to get to the bathroom, it's still not like the rest of the house. And we've lived here like 18 months almost. in this house that we just moved into, but we haven't really done anything with it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, this is the room for, especially for women, that's her client also, is that we forget to do like the stuff that stays hidden, or we hide the stuff, right? But this is like our sanctuary and our safe space. So we figured out her niche is women who are focusing or want to do something with their master bedrooms, because that's already what she's selling really well. So why not just get really laser focused on it? She has this opt-in. She actually has two options, but we kind of went with this master bedroom type audit thing for people to kind of figure out, what do they want to do with it? Almost like a mood board / what are all the possibilities type thing. It's a really cool checklist she has. That's her main thing she's going to be promoting, because it leads directly into her offer, which is this virtual style services where she helps you figure out how to do all this stuff in your one room. She loves Instagram, so do Instagram. She's also a visual brand, so it lends itself really, really well for her just to focus on Instagram and not worry about Facebook. And then she already gets a lot of traffic from Pinterest. So when you think about traffic sources, it could be some of the big ones are obviously Google, YouTube, Pinterest, and Amazon. And then of course Facebook ads and that kind of thing. But those are kind of the main traffic sources you're thinking about when I talk about traffic source. So for her, Pinterest is already huge. She already has a lot of content from how long she's been doing this. So it's just about taking that content or taking that traffic and tweaking the content they're coming to point back to this stuff. Now, from what we just described of how she typically runs her business to this, can you see how much simpler every single thing is getting in her business now that she knows that she can now go a mile deep instead of a mile wide in her business to really get some granular stuff about helping women who want to do their master bedrooms? That could be everything she talks about. That can be what she features. She can talk about so many different things around the master bedroom that, don't you think if you're following her on her channels, you're suddenly going to get paranoid that like, oh my gosh, my bedroom sucks. I need to do this. So not only is she talking to the people who are already buying from her, but she's pulling people in because they just see it all the time. And she's talking about master bedrooms. That's the hook for her. From there, it's naturally for people to kind of go from room to room or to suddenly take over the whole house, right? So it's real easy for her to keep taking them on the journey up her ladder because she knows what potential offers she can make as well. She knows what to point people to. We know how to harness the traffic and make it point to her moneymaker instead of like old blog post. So for her, it was a huge shift in how she thinks about marketing. So now all of a sudden, instead of feeling like really, really overwhelmed, on our call, light bulbs were like going off in her head, and she was like taking notes furiously about what all she could do. That's what you need in your business. It's like you need a creativity infusion by limiting yourself. It sounds crazy, but by limiting yourself and what you focus on, it really allows your brain to, see all the possibilities all of a sudden. I know this works. I promise it works. So I get excited about it. I went into more detail than I was going to about her, but I wanted you to see in real life how you take this framework and break it down for your own business, because it really, really does change everything. Okay, so let me tell you what I call it as well, but I spent the last 15 years, remember I've been in corporate, I've been running the marketing for big tech companies. They let me train with everybody. I've trained with the best marketers, the best copywriters, the best business coaches, I've been to everything. Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone. I am a personal development junkie, okay? But even with all of this information and distilling it into the framework, it's still just simple, right? You don't need all the hype and all the big and crazy things. So the framework that I'm walking through, I call it the 1x1 method. It's really a lame name. I probably know. I need to figure out something better. But it's just a modern way for you to think about marketing that's not being taught other places. I want you to get it simplified. So when you're able to take those 5 steps, which I think I have a screenshot in a minute again so you can see them, you can take it and you don't have to worry anymore about likes, right? Or subscribers, or how many people are engaging on your stuff all the time. Like, that's not the focus, because suddenly you got your sights set on this like a bullseye. It's like, I'm aiming for this. I'm going after this, keeping my blinders up. I'm not going to get jealous. I'm not going to get worried. I'm not going to get flustered by what everybody else is doing, because now I hope you can also see by how clear we got with the interior designer, you are in your own lane. You're suddenly into a blue ocean where nobody can really compete with you, because they can't do it the same way you do it, obviously. They're not going to focus in the same way you are focusing on, and they don't have your skill set and your desire to get to that goal like you do to stay laser focused. So this gives you what? Freedom to show up however you want, to like cherry pick your clients. So for her, she knew that the master bedroom is her sweet spot to get people in and then go into the whole house, right? So now she's suddenly getting to cherry pick these people and not just have like corporate clients or people who like, do not gel with her. She can be a lot pickier because she's attracting better people to her that one, are dying to work with her, who want to pay money for her. And that's exactly what you want for yourself. You want to have a simple way to make these consistent sales just by lining up your marketing into a seamless path where people are following along. Okay, because I have people I've taken this through. I don't know if she's still on. Yeah, she might even be on here, so you can even hop on the chat if you know who you are who wrote this. But I asked the question to some of my students who've gone through this framework and this methods and everything I've been showing you today is like, what difference does it actually make? And when you can get really laser focused on how you talk about it, even if you just take one piece of that 5-step framework and get really laser focused on how you talk about it, it changes how people perceive you. It's like all of a sudden, you were lost in this noise. And when they keep seeing and hearing this thing over and over and over again, it's like, shoop, it's like a laser focus. They're like, oh, I didn't know you existed. I didn't know you were there. So for example, my one client here, started getting a lot more traffic and stuff from Google and Instagram, her main places anyways, because she's able to just focus on those 2 places, right? Instead of worrying about, well, is it posting over to Facebook? And then do I need to share it on Google Plus? And should I start up a Twitter account? And that just wastes time. You don't need to worry about that. That's not what's going to bring you in paying clients. So also, one thing that I have to make everything a lot easier, because I like tools and I'm obsessed with Trello. If you've ever joined any of my Trello boards, you'll know. But I have this custom Trello board that takes all of the marketing pieces that you need to run your business and to create anything ever again and talk about it into one ridiculously awesome board. It's like a board on steroids. So if you've never looked at Trello, basically, I consider it like a digital sticky note board / project management thing, all kind of meshed in together. But it's a place for you to just keep track of all the marketing stuff in your brain in one location. All right. So you can actually see and look and know, okay, like, so what does my funnel look like? So if I actually ever want to hire somebody or if I'm ready to hire a contractor, I can just give them these pieces instead of like taking hours and hunting for it and like hoping you saved it on Google Drive maybe, or did I save it on Dropbox? Like it takes all of the guesswork out of how do you figure out your marketing and help someone do it with you. So it's a lot simpler. Okay, here's that list again. I promised you I would show you. So again, we're focusing on what matters in the 1-by-1 method. Oh, yeah, you commented. Okay. Yes, I have people who quote me back to yes. I love it. That means you are really narrowed in on your message, Allison. If you have people who quote back to you your own lingo, that means you've had it made. You've got it. But the 5 things, again, you're picking one niche to focus on. You're promoting yourself on one single platform. You're selling one main thing. Now, that's not to say, like, for example, I sell multiple things, right? But I promote primarily one thing. And I have one spot that I like people to enter into, and then I move them other places, right? So same thing for you. It doesn't mean you can't like have multiple offers and multiple things you do, but it's what are we focusing on, right? It's the focus that matters here. Focusing on creating content and spreading it on one main channel. And then once you kind of have the sweet spot going, what is the traffic source that's going to drive everything and make it work faster? Okay, which leads me to the final secret that I'm walking you through is why are all your social media posts, possibly expensive websites, if you've ever invested in one, websites are not cheap these days. And if you're a networking circuiter, you hop around every single week or month to all of the places you could possibly meet people that are warm bodies, hoping somebody's a good fit, why it could be hurting your business and what you're missing. Okay, remember that expensive coach that I hired at the beginning? I mentioned that she was pretty much going to change my life. And we did a lot of flu stuff, right? Like we dreamed about ideal clients. I did extensive journaling. Again, I like to write, but I don't like to journal. I think it goes back to the whole feeling thing. I even like, this feels crazy now that I'm actually telling you this, but she actually had me do some exercises where I had to I'm not left-handed, write with my left hand to break out my creative blocks. Like it was something wrong in my brain. That was why my business wasn't taking off, right? And I believed and I hoped and I wished and I mantraed my heart out, right? Like that's a lot of times if you've ever had a fluffy business coach like I did, that's what they tell you to do. And I was like, well, Sure, I'll try it. But the problem actually wasn't any of that stuff, right? It's not just in your head. It's that nobody knows what you do and nobody knows why you do it or nobody knows how you do it, right? Like the pinnacles of business. So I remember, I don't know if you've experienced this, getting asked over and over and over again to be like, oh, so what are you doing these days? Like it was like a hobby. It was like I was just like starting something for fun, for giggles. And I don't know about you, but I like get very offended when people are like asking me what I'm supposed to do, because for me, I have been like blood, sweat, and tears. Like, how can you not know? I'm like everywhere, right? In my head. This is what we tell ourselves. So instead, I was going to flip flop. I was going to do what everybody I was seeing on my Facebook feed told me to do. Amped up postings, network until I ran out of crappy business cards. I have like 5 sets of really crappy business cards. I kept changing them. How in the world can someone even ask me what I'm doing? I am hustling like no others. Except for then, when you flip to that mentality and get out of the floofy stuff, you get tire kickers a lot of times, or you get people who like really, really want to work for you, but they just have a good sob story instead, which feels gut wrenching. For me, I want to help everybody. Remember the whole like, oh, I want to save the world mentality when I first started? That really will hit you. You'll feel like you really do want to help. And so then we flip to either offering it for free or discounted. And suddenly we get really upset about why aren't we growing faster? Now, looking back now, I don't know what's happening in the slide, but you hope you can read the bottom. But looking back now, I know, especially watching my coach from a distance now, she was just mimicking what she knew. So many coaches just regurgitate, what they've been taught and told. She actually doesn't even have a legit business. And so again, I got that podcast. I will give you all the warning signs of when not to hire somebody. But everyone else was screaming to do this stuff, and it's more like a fad. So if you find yourself doing things like everybody else or trying things because everyone else says to do it and you're not getting results, don't worry. It's a fad. It's not you. You cannot fit your circular business into the square hole, right? So they're telling us, believe more, by affirmation statements. And tell me, I am all about meditating. I like meditating. I like visualization. I like all these things, but you can't just build your business on hope and wishful thinkings and mantras. And what I know about marketing is marketing loves action, because that equals growth, right? You can't grow if you don't take action. So I, for some reason, disqualified myself because I was like, this is a new space. Like, I'm in the online world and I'm working with women and not tech companies. So clearly anything I know about business, I'm just going to throw out the window. I don't ever want you to feel like that, ever. So if you've ever even thought this thing, let me tell you, that's just a bold-faced lie your brain is telling you. You know what you're doing, and you've got chops to prove it. You've got clients who love you, and you can figure this out. I promise you. So don't worry about wishful mantras and stuff. These are going to be some things that you can actually grow. That's not just hopeful. Okay, so thinking about this then, what does growth look like if it's not just wishful thinking? Like, how do you take visibility and make it actually work for your business? So I call this the Visibility Blitz. Some of you have seen pieces of it and probably tried pieces of it. I hope you tried it. A lot of people download it and not everybody actually takes action. Again, back to the action thing. So when I analyze over the past 15 years, what are the big things that we've been doing in businesses and corporations that have tiny budgets and huge budgets? What works and how do they track stuff? It's this types of stuff. You got to have a killer visibility plan, right? What's the checklist you can do to kind of stay top of mind and stay focused? How do you pitch to journalists and local media? How do you use other outlets that have a way bigger reach to actually bring people into you? And then how do you track these efforts? How do you write calls to actions so that you can actually get people to take action on the things you're putting out there, right? It's not just like a scroll by or a like or a heart. I mean, hearts are great now. I think they equal a little bit more than likes in the Facebook algorithm. But we want people to actually commit to something and to show up and to engage and to be able to draw them back in. Remember going back to the 10-minute marketing system, right? That build community, talk to people, get visibility, right? This is all the steps you need to take. How do you do that? You take your visibility blitz and you turn it on its head. You focus it with you're putting it to this filter where all of a sudden, if you know how to talk about what you do and you're laser focused and you're actually asking people to do something with you, whether that's, hey, check out this, check out, if you're a podcaster, I'll use myself, check out this latest episode, or come hop into my group, or come watch me go live. You're asking people to take the next step with you. That's fostering relationships, right? It's not being icky and being like, here's my link, come check out everything in the world I've ever created, right? It feels a whole lot better. People are receptive to it, and they don't even realize they're getting hooked into you, right? It's these little micro commitments you're learning to set up with your visibility plan so that you're slowly reeling people in step by step. It's got explainer videos, templates, checklists. I want every single thing that you would need to figure out how do you show up so that you're like the cool person at the party, right? I didn't go to a lot of parties, trust me, but you want to be the cool person. Everyone's like, oh, who's that over there? What is she doing? I need to check this out. That's how you create buzz around your business and your marketing. So we're talking through how do you attract the right potential clients who are interested in you and ready to pay. I put that in hot pink because we can attract people and they have no money. So we want to attract people that actually are ready and willing to pay you for your services, to pay you for your expertise, to pay you for your products and what you're doing. And that's that 10 minutes framework you can do. You can do this in just 10 minutes a day. How do you build the business that can quickly grow so you can scale it faster, right? We're getting really laser focused so that then if you can follow that 5-step framework, you're able to find the people, attract your dreamy people, nurture your dreamy people, sell to them, right? All steps that we need to have a successful business, whether we call it marketing or sales or just growing a business, whatever lingo you want to use. Like these are kind of the pillars we have to be doing, but we want to do it in a way that's not icky or spammy or feel like we're constantly hustling or like we're a slave to our business we created. And the last one is create buzz around what you do so you can convert them into new paying clients, right? With confidence, if you want to feel really good about doing it, right? We're not going to get this paralysis analysis. When you know what you're talking about and know what you're doing and know what you're going to offer, you're going to show up a lot more in the space and people are going to resonate with that. Wouldn't all of that feel great, right? If you can take those 3 frameworks, take even a piece of the framework today and try it out. See how it's going to work for you. I got this. I'm going to show you the screen in just a second. Remember I mentioned at the very beginning, I have free lessons for anybody. I want you to put in the chat which ones you want and I'll send them to you. Let me see which one it is. Okay. So here's the thing. The frameworks that I created, remember how I talked about, I got these 4 kids that are adorable, right? Super spunky. We do have pink eye at the house. Not awesome this week. But the reason I did this is because I wanted to save the world. But I can't save the world per se. I mean, I could figure out something. Instead, how do I make a connection and how do I make a difference with the people that I can serve based on my skill sets and what I really, really love to do? Think about that for yourself. Like, who do you really, really, really love working with? How do you want to make an impact on them? The way I can break this down allows people not to have to work with me one-on-one. Also, I don't really work with many people one-on-one anymore these days. It's expensive. It's a lot. It takes a lot of brain power and time. And remember those 4 kids? We got to hang out sometimes too. So I promise you I'm really good at what I do, but you don't need to work with me one-on-one ever if you just need you just need to get started, right? You don't need this magic bullet. You just need the framework that you can go and implement today and tomorrow and the next week and like the next 20 years over and over again in your business. So I could make this super cheap, which I've done in the past, and give you templates and swipe files, except for here's the problem with that. That just makes you dangerous. You know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be super successful, and that's not fair to you at all, or to me. So what I'm going to show you next is I've added lots of live group sessions. I've added videos for client attraction. Anybody who's actually been in my academy before, you can testify to this, but I want you to know how to write copy and do social media and actually convert people and have the email marketing. Plus templates. Who doesn't like scripts and swipe files and actually marketing plans? And if you're going to talk to somebody on the phone, what in the world do you say? And how do you even know like how to lead them into the next step so they actually buy from you? This is the time where I want you to feel, if you have these systems, if you even just screenshotted any of the lists that I had on here, I want you to feel like you don't suck at marketing, because you absolutely do not suck at marketing, okay? You just weren't taught it. Most people don't know how to market. It's like a really stuffy, boring major in college that everybody pretty much avoids. And it changes so fast. By the time people in college are taking it right now, it's going to be obsolete. So everybody does not know how to do this. Now, I've been in the trenches growing businesses, right? 15 years doing corporates where I have really big budgets I get to work with, which is super fun. But I need to figure out how to translate that to people who have no budgets or little budgets, right? And so I can do that now by taking it through the academy, This is a member of my academy. I wanted to ask her, I wanted you to see a real life person and how it can actually help you. Like, this is legit. This is a thing. People actually get benefits out of this. Even if you just download one thing, you just take a screenshot, you'll get results. So here's how it works. This is the 10-minute 10-minute a day template and daily action list. This is how much I sell it by itself. Remember this screenshot part of it? You're missing Tuesday, Thursday, all the other days. But this is pieces of it, right? Remember, you're looking at how to be visible, how to build community, how to talk with people, how to promote it, and the big things that actually push your business forward also, right? Like, make sure you're making offers to people, whether that's a sales page, whether that's hopping on a call, whether it's creating a custom offer, whether that's sending them, coming into your store or having them come to a fair or throwing a party, whatever your business model is, you have to constantly be making offers, which is part of this whole sales and marketing, incestuous relationship. You got to be doing those things to be growing your business. The marketing 1x1 framework, my favorite thing. It's a signature program that I walked. It's the 5-step thing. Remember where it said focus on what matters, right? We walked through the one niche. We walked through the one platform. We walked through the one channel. We walked through the one traffic source. We walked through the one offer, the 1x1, right? Getting really laser focused. That's how much is valued out in my academy. Here's some screenshots. That's right. I told you I had some. Some of the pieces that are inside of there where I want you to literally be able to walk step by step how to do any of the things I talked about in detail. So this is a great masterclass, right? You can take this and run with this. But some of you might have questions and we're like, yeah, but how do you do that number 2 thing you talked about, which seems really great and easy, and the interior designer was fantastic, but like, how do I actually do it in my business, right? But remember the custom hub thing tool? I also have that, putting that in there. And what about getting visible? What about the Visibility Blitz thing? So this is the module that you can do in less than an hour every single time you want to promote anything ever, right? So how do you pitch to journalists? How do you track what's actually working? How do you, what's your checklist you just keep in your pocket so you're staying visible? How do you create a killer visibility plan that actually gets you into paying clients instead of just getting you seen, right? How do you create that buzz around your business? Here are some real life examples. Again, I want you to see that I'm not just making this up. For me, it's really important. It's really hard to talk about what I do in a way that doesn't seem really over the top. Because with marketing, you can really blow your business out of the water if you do it right? The 2 things that make a big difference are marketing and sales, right? How you do those things. Okay, that's all of the fancy stuff. But if anybody's ever worked with me before, it's not valuable unless you get to work with me too. So I got some bonuses for anybody also who's been thinking about this. Like, I want you to be able to get hands-on tactical stuff so that you're getting eyes on your business and moving forward. Because remember, we still got 5 months left in this year. If you've written the year off, if you're like, shoot, this summer kind of derailed me, I didn't get as far as I wanted, 5 months is still a lot of time to figure out what you want to do and how to get really laser focused on it. So I have something new before. Some of you who are in the academy, you've not even seen this yet. How do I stuff I'm dropping next week into the course? How do I market literally anything you're thinking about doing in your business? If you collect pens like I do on, ooh, I should try that. If you have like an idea board, here's how to actually take those things and implement them into your business. So this is new. This is based on all the questions I get. Like, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, but like, what do I do? And like, is that a good idea? These are based off of those types of questions so that okay, well, if you really were to start a podcast, these are the steps. This is how you think about it. Here's the marketing plan. All of that is thrown into the academy. Plus live group sessions. This is actually, I think a lot of people actually even buy this just for this thing because it's where we come in. I don't think I mentioned this. Usually I do. I'm a course addict. I have spent much money on courses because I don't ever want to feel like I'm missing out on something, right? It's like if you've ever thought about buying a course, have bought a course, you don't want to miss out. And you're like, if I just know what the silver bullet is, then it's going to make the difference. But I've learned that I don't actually take the courses unless there's accountability built into them as well. And so what I give every single person coming into it, 3 months of live group sessions where you come in and we literally talk through your marketing plan for that month, every single month. You hop on live, we'll hop on the Zoom call, we chat through your stuff. Because the whole point of this is I want you to not only take this framework, which would work, which would probably work for a monkey if monkeys knew how to read, right? How to do the stuff. You could step-by-step do it. I'm a step-by-step person with checklists. But it's that human aspect of, yeah, but what about this? Or how do I tweak it for my market? Because I've not met a single business owner that runs a business in the same way as anybody else. I don't know about you, but you're all like snowflakes, right? Everything we do is so uniquely different, and there's so many variances of things. So I want you to never feel like you're stuck, or you don't know how to tweak something, or you don't know what to do next because your business looks different than everybody else's. So let's work on custom stuff one by one. Okay, so my calls are valued at $9.97. But if you're still wondering, I don't even know why I'm still listening, right? You're like, I don't know. There's just like, she's still talking. But I have one more thing that I'm throwing in on top because I'm bringing it back. It's the one thing that you would need that nobody else can give you, that you're going to make it the most bang out of your buck. You're going to actually take action, personalized strategy. So this is getting my eyes and expertise on your business for the rest of 2019 with a free strategy session. So that's sitting down and looking at, where do you want to go between now and 2019? You want to go further? You want to plan out a year? What are you going to go now between now and a year? Sure. But usually it's going to work better, a smaller time frame. I say that because I want you to know exactly where you're going. If you come into the academy, I don't want it to be overwhelming. I want to be able to drop you in and be like, oh, hey, Allison, you know what? Based on where we just set up your goals, I want you to start here, here, and here and do these things first. And then when we come back, we're going to work on step 2, phase 3, those types of things. I want you to know exactly how to grow your business at your pace. Now, the next thing you might be wondering, oh, I forgot. I did throw this in. This will be super fun. I'm going to do a fast action bonus this weekend because I'm only opening this up for the weekend. Everybody wants to know about social media. So let's do a social media workshop. Let's figure out how in the world to do marketing for social media together, live on there. So I'm going to throw that into it. Let's add that to our thing. I think I have a sheet on that. Because my whole thing, remember, action strategy is excellent. But if you don't have action, it's just like a really great idea. And you're like, oh man, that was so nice. That was wonderful. Okay, so here's all the checklist. I want you to feel awed and overwhelmed and like there's a lot of stuff in there, right? But the problem is, okay, what if it feels like a lot still, right? That's a huge number. Trust me, I know it's a huge number. But what if all it did was get you one new client a month for the next 12 months? Would it be worth it? Maybe. I guess it depends on how much you're charging for your clients, right? It's possible. But what if it helps you earn that? Remember we talked about the whole goal for you guys to earn full-time incomes on the hours that you want? What if you were able to then go and market anything, right? Whether you have one business or 20 businesses or 100 businesses, or you pivot tomorrow so that you can run it. Would it be worth it then? Maybe. Possibly. So here's what I did. I purposely made this course very different. All the courses I've bought, you buy a course, you go through the material. Sometimes there's a Facebook group, yada, yada, yada. That was excellent. That's not beneficial to me. That's not how I think. And it's not super beneficial for the people going through it, which is why there's so many live components. So it's really like I took a course and mashed it into a group program and gave people accessibility to me because I actually want you to succeed. Because I had 2 choices. Again, really make it cheap, give you the printables. I can give you some more printables too if you want, but it's not going to teach you how to do it, how to get to the granular level of it. It teaches you this checklist of what to do, right? But you want to know how. So I don't want you to be a statistic. I don't want you to not figure out how to grow your business. If you're here, you're probably interested in getting more clients and steady leads because you want to get to that full-time income. That's a big goal. So if you had that successful business, what would it be worth to you? Think about it. For me, I am pretty much unemployable now. I can't work for anybody else, right? Once you kind of get the entrepreneur bug, it's like, why? Why would I want to work for somebody else? I love what I do. I like the freedom. It's a lot scarier. It's a lot of work. It's really, really hard actually. But I kind of feel like I have the bug now. And maybe that's your case too. Maybe you feel like you're unemployable now. So you can see why people pay for this because it's an investment. But my mission is not to charge $10,000 for anything, right? That's people work one-on-one with me. That's how much it costs for my clients on a quarterly basis because I become part of your team. So what I have is I have an offer for the weekend that I'm going to put out there to anybody who came on the thing, just open for the weekend on the page, where you might be thinking, this was great. I'm going to take my screenshots, which I hope you did. And if you have questions on what the 5 things were, again, they're in the replay. So you can also take the screenshots from that as well. But that was a lot of information. So What if I don't have time for all of this? Well, you get a lifetime of training included, and I'm only adding stuff, right? So you get lifetime access. I want you to be able to go at your own pace. So if you feel like you're drinking from a fire hose of the screenshots and the things you're seeing and what all the possibilities are for your business, don't worry. You have it forever. It's not going anywhere. And it's not anything with paid advertising. You don't have to buy anything else. You don't have to set up anything fancy. You don't have to get a website. You don't have to build a fancy website or any of those things. Like everything I'm teaching you and everything you've learned on these 3 systems and frameworks, it's going to help you be able to do this organically, which is what a great place to start out to kind of get growth.
I just don't understand why are they always with everything so last minute. I was under the impression that they're not going to come into.
All right. So this is the offer that I have. Because I want every single person who's ever met with me to be able to grow their business. Whether you want me to do your marketing for you, which is a few people, whether you want to come hang out locally with me, or if you really just want to be able to run with it and do whatever you want. I have a one-time payment offer of $497, or I'm a payment plan person myself, so you can buy it for $197. Here's the thing. I'm going to send out the replay when this is done. It probably takes about 30 minutes for it to do whatever it does on Zoom, and I'll email it out to you. You can listen to the middle section and take notes exactly on your business on how to get started. But if you don't know what the next best steps are and how to do stuff, then I invite you to check it out. Try it out with me, because this is my favorite place to work with people. This is the place you can go to, myname.com/getclients, or it's under the Marketing Magic Academy. It's got the business systems, it's got the formulas, it's got all those strategies and templates and practice. And at this point, there's 2 things you could do. And I want to take all the risk away from you if you've even been considering this, because this is a long webinar. I understand. It's a long masterclass. And it's how do we figure out what do we do with this now? If you take the action, any action, whether that's go back and take a screenshot, whether it's collect the testimonials, whether it's figure out what is your one main channel you're going to focus on. If you don't take action, nothing's going to change, period. So just remember, take action on something, or take a leap of faith, because guess what? If it doesn't work out for you, this is not for you, then that's okay, because I'll give you your money back. I know, I'm pausing for a second because this is how much I believe in what I'm doing, that if it's not for you, I want to give you your money back, because I don't want to waste your time and your money. You know how awful it felt when I just kept charging $1,000 to my coach who just wanted to do fluffy things with me? It feels really horrible. And that's not the type of business that I run either. And so I will have a 14-day guarantee. You come in there, you go through every single thing in there you want and look at it. And if it's not for you, then I'll give you all your money back. Absolutely. All right. So the real question is, even if it only does half of what I told you, would it pay for itself within a few weeks or months or tomorrow? Possibly. So here's everything again that I'm giving in. I'm really, really excited about the social media marketing workshop. We're going to bring in some guests, hint, coming in for Instagram, Facebook. So you can really get your questions answered on like what's working now? How do I take the big picture of marketing and really fit it into my business so that I'm getting the biggest bang for my buck? Because we're focusing on one platform. So let's make the most of it work as well. How do I do anything you want to do? This is like your go-to guide where you can do it if you're a solopreneur, you have a team. It's going to be beneficial if you ever want to hire a contractor and bring in. Basically, it's a resource where you can figure out how to market and grow and scale anything you ever want to do again. Whew. All right, guys. So this is the screen again. If you want it, I'm going to send out the replay in about half an hour once everything goes through. But you still might be thinking, that's a lot of money. And I get it. $500 is a lot of money, especially if you're brand new or starting out and it's not cheap. And I get it. And that's also not for everybody. And most of you probably will not even want to buy it right now. That is totally fine. The point is, I want you to understand that you can figure out marketing. So go back with the replay, look at the screenshots, figure out what could you start differently? What could you do?
But she invests, so.
And if you want to take a leap of faith, I broke it down last night on my calculator. It's $540 a day if you do the 3-month thing. $540. That's it. less than my chai tea cost when I get the big one at Starbucks and splurge, less than the random crap I bought on Instagram last week, Amazon last week, less than the Y membership, which I don't go to. So I promise you, you can take these systems, pieces of it, even if you just take one of the systems and break it down for yourself and see what it does. I want you to see what it's like for you to really feel confident and comfortable talking about your business, promoting your products, reaching the people you want to meet, and then converting them into actual paying clients.
And you are going to be out of so much money.
Okay. So last thing, remember how I said I want you guys to take action at the very beginning? You might get really fired up, get super excited about some of the stuff in here. I hope you took a screenshot. If not, take it on the replay.
You're not going to back out because you already have another.
But you might not do anything with it, and that's going to be a bummer. I've done it. I signed up for some of those, which are the ones that, that are like classes, and you're like, joining now in 15 minutes, which, are just like pre-recorded stuff. I sit through those, and they're like, if you wait to the last minute, I'm going to tell you everything you ever want to know. And then I wait, and they don't tell me anything, and then I'm like, well, that was nice, but that was a waste of money. So I definitely don't want you to feel like you sat here and it was a waste of your time. So if you are on here listening live or on the replay and you're like, you know what, that wasn't worth it to me, I want you to message me or email me and tell me that, and I will buy you coffee, legit, because I want you to make sure you're getting something you can take away from this to implement in your business so that you can grow it and scale it. Okay, you'll always make more money. Trust me, money can be replenished, but we don't have that much time. So for you, it's a time thing. If you want to do this faster, I've got options to help you do it together. The truth is, I'm not someone special or fancy or a guru. I'm really goofy and weird and sarcastic, and I'm just a regular person who just happens to love marketing. Most people I work with aren't having million-dollar businesses who have these huge audiences either. We're normal people who are doing stuff we love to do with people who are normal audiences who live in small towns or big towns, all right? We all look the same. So I break everything down because I want this to be for a normal person. I want you to not have to figure out the hard way if you need help, if you want to take this and really run with it over the next 5 months. All right, guys, I am going to send out the replay. I'll leave this up so you know where to go as well. But I'm going to send out the replay. Go back to the 3 things. The 10-minute marketing thing, you can look at the 7 things to focus on. 4 are daily, 3 things to happen weekly. Look at the 1-by-1 marketing method. If you need to listen back through the interior designer section. Oh, Christine's got a good question. Okay, I work with yeah, so you as like a affiliate for the program, is that what you're asking, Christine? That's a good question. That type of thing? Leave me a question if I'm, yes, okay, absolutely. Yes, if anybody wants to refer anybody to me, I will pay you all the live long day for referrals. That's the best source of marketing you can get, right? If someone else will do your work for you, I highly recommend it. If people want to send people to you, yeah, I can definitely tell you how it works as well. And I think I have a link I can send to you. Message me or email me, Christine, and I can walk you through. I can get more details for you specifically on it, and how it works for sure. And even send them this replay if they want to walk through. Did you even just see what the system's like ever too? Feel free to just send your link over to it. Okay, so I am. Oh yeah, this is what it looks like. I don't want you to get scared. All right, so these are the 2 options. I'll put it out there when I send the replay as well. But when you click, there's one option will look like this, right? So you know where you're on the right spot. And there's missing is a really, really awkward, amazing picture Allison took. Allison's on here of me dancing. Guys, I am an awful dancer, but she took a picture. It's up there as well. So you have options. You can look about it. You can think about it. I'm going to open it up through the weekend. And you'll get all of the bonuses as well if it's something you're ready to do. If not, go back through the thing. Listen to the interior designer. Take the notes. Practice it. See what actually works. It's always helpful if you know you can get results from somebody without their program to know if you can really get it when you pay for something, right? Okay, so Marketing Magic Academy, that's my academy site. And you can also go to MallorySlable.com/get clients and just see that one with the crazy dancing picture on there. Okay, and the free gift. Let me show you which one. Here's 2 of the most popular ones people pick. So I put them up here. I will send it straight over to you in your email. There's 100+ social media engagement post ideas. You can get that one. Or if you want help with, well, how do you create a content marketing plan? That's the second one. If you're like, I actually want help on this, let me know and I'll message you for a separate option. But these are the ones most people pick. So comment in the comments or in the chat box. Send me a message if you want to think about it, and I'm going to shoot over the lesson to you straight from the academy, so you have something to take home for sticking around here with me. And again, the replay, I think it probably takes about an hour, well, at least 30 minutes for Zoom to do whatever Zoom does.
What?
Didn't she say
And then I'll upload it and I will send everything over to you as well, so you can listen back through it. Let me know if you have questions over the weekend, if you're thinking about stuff as well. But guys, thank you for hanging out with me on a Friday morning. I guess it's morning my time. I guess everybody else would be morning too, since I'm East Coast. But thank you for hanging out with me. I want you, as you think about, you're going to start to think, it's going to like percolate in your brain over the weekend, I know, about how you can kind of take some of this and tweak your stuff. So let me know. You're like, I want to try out this, or I want to think about this, or, I really like the framework. Let me know what piece is most interesting to you and what questions you have as well. So that was great. So guys, if you have any more questions, either unmute yourself or put it in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them as well. Thank you, guys. If you have anything else. Oh, sweet. You've mastered Pinterest. Pinterest is such an amazing source of traffic. I am falling in love with it. I've been working with it as well over the last 6 months or so. So you need to convert. Excellent. Excellent. That would be great to cover in the social media workshop as well. I'm going to make a note of that. How to convert Pinterest traffic. We'll make sure our Pinterest person can help us. All right, Pinterest, converting traffic. And you also asked me about the affiliate. So I will make a note of that for you as well, Christine. All right, awesome, guys. I'm going to send that replay out to your emails at whatever you signed up with. So check your email for that if you want to go back through it. Reply back. Let me know if you have questions or anything. And have a wonderful weekend, guys.
Who's downstairs?
Eve. Let me just close this up.